Hi guys, I'm seeing some people start to join, so I'm just gonna kind of wait for some people to come in, and then we will go ahead and get started with the tutorial. Also, I just want to post on Snapchat really quick. 1 second. Okay. Alright, so hi guys. I'm going to be doing a brow and lip tutorial today, as you guys can see from the title of the little live stream. So we're going to be using a few different products from Anastasia, all from Anastasia actually, and I guess we'll just go ahead and wait to go and get started. I can answer a couple questions really quick. So, Elizabeth, you said how old are you? I am 17 years old. And also, if you guys want to follow me on any other social media, my Instagram is Cybersleep, and then I do have a YouTube channel, and that is Ryan Potter Makeup. You can just search it up, and pretty easy to get to. So yeah, and then the eye look, I kind of wanted to coordinate with the look, or the lip look that I was doing, and also my sweater. I kind of wanted to match. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. So for my eyebrows, I like to use Dip Brow, and then I also use the Brow Wiz, so I'll kind of go through the products and kind of what I'm doing as I'm going through my eyebrows. So I'm taking the Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ash Brown. Mine looks pretty gross right now. And I'm using the 7B Anastasia brush, has a little spoolie on the end, which is super great. So for me, what I like to start by doing is I start kind of like down here, like the bottom portion of my eyebrow, and then I'll kind of work on the tail end, and then as I get towards the center of my eyebrow, then I'll use the Brow Wiz. So I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it. And I kind of like a more fuller brow towards the tail, so that's why I use the Dip Brow. I'm also going to start trying to answer questions as they're coming through. Thank you. I like my eyebrows, but I like them to be a little bit more defined, which is why I like to use the Dip Brow. And then I just kind of go through and just redip it as I need to. So I kind of have that tail right there. That's usually where I like to leave it. I don't like it to get any more intense than that, so I'll just kind of stop right there, and then I'll start working on the top portion of it. And then if you mess up, it's not really like a huge deal. I'm going to go in with concealer afterwards, and then we'll get it kind of cleaned up. I haven't done my Christmas shopping yet. I haven't even started. I have no clue what to get any of my family members. Yeah, pretty much like I have not started at all, so pretty stressed out about that. But I will probably get it like super last minute like I did last year. The lashes that I'm wearing are Lily Lashes in the style Mykonos. What brush is the best for dip brow? I think this brush is really perfect because, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's super stiff and it's really short, so you can get a nice precise line when you're doing it. And then, like I said, I'm going to the top right now. And then I kind of stop right about there. That's where I start to like to use the Brow Wiz. So I'm going to go ahead and pretty much stop with the Dip Brow. I'm just going to fill in a couple other sparse areas. And then if we have to, we can just go back into the Brow Wiz when we're done to kind of get any parts that I missed. What inspired me to do makeup? I think my friend Haley, she kind of got me into doing makeup. She did my makeup one time, and then from there I kind of decided to start doing my own makeup, and that's just kind of how it stemmed from. And then now I'm just going in with the Brow Wiz, and this is in the shade Soft Brown. And the reason I like to do this first is because I don't like using the Dip Brow on the front portion because I feel like it looks a little too harsh, and I kind of like that ombre brow effect. So that's why I go in with this one, just because it's a little bit lighter. So I start just by filling in this portion, and then I'll start defining the bottom. My sweater is from, where is this sweater from? I think it's from American Apparel, I'm pretty sure. And then for eyeshadow today, I use the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm using the shades Raw Sienna and Realgar, I believe is the shade name. And those are the only two shades that I use today. Alright, so then I kind of start doing like little hair-like strokes right here, as you guys can see, and then I'll go through the top and then kind of start to define the top portion a little bit. I might do a tutorial on this look on my YouTube channel. If enough people want to see it, then I'll probably do one. But it's a little simple, so I don't know if enough people really want to see it. And then I'm just kind of going back over this dip brow over here. My favorite Starbucks drink. Ooh, I don't really drink Starbucks. I'm too cheap for Starbucks. I usually go to like McDonald's for coffee. This brush is the 7B. I think I have the number 12 brush. This is the number 12 brush, so they're kind of similar, but this one's the 7B. My YouTube channel username is just Ryan Potter Makeup. So I'm almost done with this eyebrow, and then we're going to go in with a little bit of concealer. You gotta save that money, honestly. Alright, so for concealer today, I'm going to be using the ABH concealer, and this is in the shade 1.0. So it's like a nice thick concealer to clean up the bottom of my eyebrow with. And I usually will start on this portion right here. Since I already have eyeshadow on, I'm not going to go too far down, just because I don't want to mess up the blending. So I'm just going to take a little bit just to kind of clean up the edges. My go-to foundation at the moment is the stick foundation from Anastasia. If you guys follow my YouTube channel or my Instagram, that's like the only thing that I've been using recently. Usually when I find a product that I like a lot, I'm kind of afraid to like change it just because I like it so much. So I usually just stick with the same thing for a while. And then this brush that I just switched to is the ABH 20 brush. So it's like a little flat brush. This one's also great for concealer. I just kind of switched so I could have a clean one without any product on it. And I'm just going to start blending it down a little bit. Okay. And then typically I don't really clean up on this edge just because I kind of like the look of where it's not super defined right there. I like it to be a little bit more bushy. And then we are pretty much done with this side, and I'm just going to set my eyebrows with the clear brow gel. Stuff is really, really good. And I just kind of push everything up for the most part. Okay, and then I'm just going to set the concealer after this really fast and maybe put a little bit of highlight underneath. So for concealer actually, or not concealer, but for powder to set this, I have to grab it. But I am using the Modern Renaissance palette, which mine is so disgusting. There's fake blood on it from Halloween, like it's disgusting, so I apologize. But I'm going to be using this to set my concealer. I'm just taking the shade Tempora from this one. It's just like the lightest shade in the palette. For my eyebrows, I used Dip Brow and the Brow Wiz, and then I did concealer and then clear brow gel. And if you guys are coming in late, you can also rewind this at the end, I believe, or you might be able to rewind it right now. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so you can just rewind it if you miss anything. I'm wearing prescription contacts, but I'm not wearing colored contacts. These are my natural eyelashes. Okay, and then this brush that I'm using is just like a little buffer brush. This is the A6 brush. And I'm just gonna kind of blend this into the eyeshadow too, just so it's not like a harsh kind of difference. Alright, and then for highlight today, because you gotta have that eyebrow highlight, I'm gonna be taking the shade Summer, and this is from the Sun Dipped Glow Kit. I just took it out of the packaging because it's a little bit easier to grab. I'm taking this on that same brush that we were just using to blend out the concealer. This is the ABH20 brush. And just going to pop this underneath the brow bone to give it some highlight. And there we go. Alright, so that is one eyebrow done. We can go and hop on to the other eyebrow. Same thing, this is going to be good too for people that are just joining, so I can kind of show you guys the process that I did. But if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll be answering them as I go. Alright, I feel like this one eyebrow is always the hardest for me to do. Or maybe it's this one. There's one that is always the hardest for me to do. It's gonna be kind of weird to do at this angle, but I feel like everyone has like a better eyebrow. Maybe that's just me. And same thing, I'm just kind of starting from the base and then going towards the tail. For hair product, I don't really use anything. I just use a flat iron to curl it, and then I use a lot of hairspray, like a ton of hairspray. Yeah, you can totally use the same highlight on your face. I tend to. Like, the highlight that I'm wearing today is the tourmaline highlight from the same Sun Dipped Glow Kit. So you can totally use the same one. I just decided to do that one because I want it to be more like pinky, like a pink undertone. But yeah, you can use the same highlight. The concealer that I'm using from Anastasia is their Pot Concealer, and it's in the shade 1.0. And the Dip Brow shade is an ash brown. Yeah, I know. I feel like everyone kind of has their, everyone has a good eyebrow, I feel like. I don't remember which one mine is. I want to say it's this one. Or maybe, I think it actually, maybe it is this one. I don't know. There's an eyebrow that I don't like as much, but I'm just kind of rolling with it. And then I'm still using the Dip Brow. I'm gonna, like I said, I kind of stop in the middle here, and then I'll switch over to the Brow Wiz, just kind of get like a more natural look. The eyelashes that I'm wearing are from Lily Lashes, and they're in the style Mykonos. The brush that I'm using right now is the 7B brush. It's got like a little spoolie on the end. Okay. So we're going to go and switch back over to the Brow Wiz and Soft Brown. I started doing my own makeup about like a year ago. I started actually around this time last year is when I first started makeup, and I first started doing Instagram and posting on Instagram. So it's been about a year now. I think December, like around December, is when I posted my first like makeup photo on Instagram, which was super scary. But now, kind of like looking back, it's kind of nice to see how far that I've come with makeup. For my eyeshadow, I use the Modern Renaissance palette. Oh, for the shade names in the palette, I can actually show you guys really quick. So I first started out with Raw Sienna, this shade over here, and then I did Real Gar, and those are the only two shades that I used, and I just kind of blended those together. On the inside of my eyelid, I just kind of left it blank. I just put a little concealer down beforehand, but my Instagram account is Cybersleep, so the title of this live stream has my Instagram handle. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back into the concealer to clean up the edges, although it's not really a whole lot to clean up, excuse me, but we'll take a little bit. For my eyebrows, I just pluck them. I've always been afraid to get them, what is it called, threaded. I've always wanted to get them threaded, but I'm afraid that they will make them super thin, because my eyebrows are already kind of thin, so I'm just a little afraid to do that. One day I might, if I let my eyebrows grow enough, but I usually will just end up tweezing them before they get too out of hand. And I'm going back into the ABH20 brush to blend this out. I know I'm trying to answer as many questions as I see. I feel bad answering the same ones. So if you guys have a lot of the questions, I've tried to answer all of them. So if you're curious, just kind of rewind the Periscope and you could probably find it. I'm seeing a lot of questions about my eyelashes. I do want to end up doing makeup as a full-time job right now. It's more of like a part-time kind of job, so I have like a side job that I'm doing, but I would eventually like to make it full-time. Under my eyebrows, I set the concealer with Tempera from the Modern Renaissance palette. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back in with highlight. And the highlight that I'm using is the same one I just used on the other side, if I can find it. This is Summer from the Sun Dipped Glow Kit. If you were to choose between pomade or Brow Wiz, which would you pick? I'd probably choose Brow Wiz just because it's a little bit natural. So if I was going for just like a quick everyday brow, I'd probably go with the Brow Wiz, I think. Do you cut your lashes? I do trim my lashes because I have kind of small eyes, and I'll trim them from the outer edge right here. Because I feel like if you trim them from the inner corner, then you're kind of losing that tapered lash, if that makes sense. So if you're cutting from the outer corner, it's not gonna make them look crazy. That probably didn't make sense, but hopefully you got what I was saying. Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of blend this out over here because I feel like it's a little too harsh. Okay, so we are pretty much done with the eyebrows. I'm just going to set this one side over here. Ooh, one of my beauty secrets. I don't really have any beauty secrets, I don't think. I love blush. Like, I feel like blush will, like, it just makes you look really healthy and glowy. So, like, even if I'm not wearing makeup, I'll always put on blush just like before I leave the house, because I feel like it makes you look really healthy and glowy. That's not really like a secret, I don't think, but I like to do that. My YouTube channel name is just Ryan Potter Makeup. If you search up Ryan Potter, I think it'll even pop up. It's pretty easy to find. If I'm going to school or work, excuse me, I usually don't wear makeup just because it's kind of like my preference. I just don't really like to, but yeah. Kind of similar answer to this question. I don't really have like a makeup routine in the morning, but if I were to do like a natural makeup look, it would probably take like 30 minutes probably, I think, just like for foundation, contour, and all that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the lip portion. So for the lips today, I'm using my favorite liquid lipstick from them. This is in the shade Ashton. I feel like this looks good on every skin tone. Pale, like medium skin tones, deeper skin tones. This looks great on everyone. And then I'm going to be doing kind of like a little ombre with it. So I'm doing Naked and just going to be putting this on the center of it. So I think it's going to look really, really pretty, especially with this look the eye look that I have going on. The copper color is, I think it's Real Gar. So they're kind of mixed together, but I use Real Gar and Raw Sienna. Okay, so for the lips, I'm taking the Anastasia 18 brush, which is like a concealer brush, but I like it for lips. And let me just kind of make some space over here, because I'm kind of like, if you guys could see my desk right now, it's like a mess. Okay. So for my lips, I like to overline them a little bit. I know that's not everyone's preference. For me, I have kind of thin lips, so I just like to make them a little bit fuller. Totally up to you guys. You totally don't have to do that. I know some people don't really like it, but I usually start on the bottom of my lip right here and kind of define that edge, and then I'll go up to the top. And then I just have a little bit of lipstick on the back of my hand that I can keep on dipping into. My favorite liquid lipsticks. I love the Anastasia liquid lipsticks. I think my favorite one is probably, ooh, that's hard. Probably Spicy. Spicy is my favorite lip color, I think, of all time. I love oranges, so I tend to always reach for those. My go-to look when I go out, probably something orange. I love orange. Probably something similar to this would be what I usually go for. You heat your brows? What does that mean? I don't know. Like, for me, when I started makeup, it was just kind of like this creative outlet. Like, I didn't really have like a creative outlet, I guess. And makeup was the one thing. Oh shit! Sorry, my iPad's falling. For me, I didn't really have like a creative thing like a lot of people have. Like, if they're in high school, they have like band or they have sports. For me, I didn't really have anything like that. And for me, when I started makeup, that was kind of my creative outlet, and I could do, you know, different looks and creative looks, and I really like that about makeup, that it's really self-expressive, I guess. Okay, the side's a little uneven, so we have to fix that. I am 17 years old. Okay. And then what I like to do is I'll kind of like put my lips together, and then from here that kind of shows me, it kind of gives me like a guide to where I need to create my line. Because I kind of like, I do my lips a little weird, so that's just, I don't know, that's the way I do it. It kind of helps me, gives me a little guideline to where I need to map out my lips. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was kind of confused when she said I heat my eyebrows, but hate makes more sense, I guess. My all-time favorite eyeshadow palette, ooh, Modern Renaissance. If we're going between Anastasia, Modern Renaissance, I think. I haven't gotten a chance to try their Mario palette, but that one looks really stunning too. My first Anastasia eyeshadow palette was actually the Artist palette, which came out last year, and it was actually a gift. One second, I'm just gonna finish this side. The brush that I'm using for the lips is the 18 brush. It's like a little concealer brush. But no, so the first eyeshadow palette that I got was a gift from one of my friends in high school, and it was the artist palette, and that's kind of what kind of got me into makeup. That was like the first palette that I was using. Alright, and then I'm just switching over to this lip brush from Anastasia, and this is the number 3 brush. Just to kind of get a little bit more precise. I do contour and bronze. I usually use like a contour color. I don't really bronze a whole lot, but I do contour and bronze. I prefer cream contouring to powder. I like lip liner, but I like brushes because I feel like you can get a really precise application. So whenever I can, I always try to use brushes as opposed to applicators. Would I ever consider doing lip fillers? I would, actually. I've always wanted to get lip fillers. I'm afraid that they would turn out botched though, so I don't know. But I would definitely, I'm definitely not against it. The lipstick doesn't feel dry, it's super comfortable. These are actually like my favorite lipsticks to wear. That's why Spicy is my favorite. To prevent lipstick from bleeding off the lips, I would definitely put concealer underneath here. I feel like that's where concealer or lipstick can always kind of bleed. So I always like to put concealer just to kind of clean it up. Also, lining your lips helps a lot. Okay, I think lips are pretty much done. So I'm just gonna put like a quick coat, and then we'll do the ombre portion. Yes, Snap fam coming through. I see you guys. I posted on Snapchat before I started this, so I'm glad some of you guys are coming to watch. So I'm just taking the same lipstick and just kind of putting that all over. But I'm curious, what are you guys' favorite Anastasia products? Just like out of everything that they have, what is your guys' like ride or die? It's like you couldn't live without. I think mine would probably be Dip Brow. Dip Brow or the Brow Wiz, I think. Or the lipsticks. I can't really choose, but I would probably choose like a brow product, I think. Brow gel. Brow gel is a pretty good one. I feel like brow products are gonna be like the most popular. Ooh, Moonchild. I haven't tried Moonchild before, and I really want to try it. Yeah, Brow Wiz is pretty good. I'm thinking that's probably mine. Thinking Brow Wiz is probably mine. This lip color is so pretty, honestly. If you don't have it, you have to have it. Highlighter. Alright, so just quick, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the Naked. I keep forgetting the shade name, but this is Naked. And so it's like a lighter color. This is more of like a peachy toned lipstick. And I'm just gonna be putting this in the center of my lips. And I'm using just a little buffer brush as opposed to my finger. I feel like with a brush you can get a little bit more precise, and it just kind of fades out a little bit, like, it just fades out like a little bit better than just using your finger. So same thing, I'm just kind of putting this on the back of my hand and then going to start mixing it in the middle. And a tip for doing ombre lips is kind of have 3 separate shades. So you have like your original shade that you put down, then you have your ombre shade, and then you kind of have the mixed together shade, so the 2 that you're using. And so you'll kind of put the ombre shade that you're using in the middle, and then you can take like the 2 mixed together to kind of help fade it out a little bit more, just so it's not super intense and crazy. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. Okay. We are pretty much almost done. I haven't seen any angry reactions yet, so I'm kind of surprised. I don't think it's a weird idea. I've done Periscope before, so it's kind of like, I feel like Facebook Live is set up the same way that Periscope is, so I'm kind of used to it. I kind of like it. I feel like it's super interactive. I like this more than YouTube. Well, I love YouTube. Not saying that I don't like YouTube, but I like this because it's super interactive. I can answer people like right then and there, and it's just, I don't know. I like it. Yeah, I do use a fixing spray if I'm wearing my makeup for a long time. Okay, so lastly, just to finish up the look, I'm going to take a little bit of gloss because recently I've been super into gloss, and this is the Gilded Lip Gloss from Anastasia. Stuff is gorgeous. And then I don't really like the Anastasia glosses are kind of intense, so I just kind of want this to be like a sheer gloss. So I put it on the back of my hand there. Excuse the messiness. And I'm just going to be taking the same brush that we were just using and kind of dipping it in and just kind of getting like a nice satiny finish. Yeah, the original color that I used before this is Ashton. The contour palettes are amazing. I like mixing with a little bit of oil and then using them. And see, I feel like the gloss just kind of gives it like a little bit more life. I feel like it looks really pretty. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a little concealer underneath, and I'm just going to take the same concealer that we used underneath our brows, just because it works really well for this. And one second, I have to find a clean brush. Can I find a clean brush? Maybe, we'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to be using this little concealer brush. Actually, I'm going to use this one because it's a little bit cleaner. My favorite makeup artist to watch on YouTube or Instagram is Kathleen Lights. I love her to death. would love to meet her someday. I didn't put any translucent powder, it was just the matte liquid lipstick. This concealer is really, really good. I feel like it's so full coverage, which is just really great. I love using this underneath the eyebrows and then around the lips too. I also like priming my nose with it. I'll put like a layer of concealer down and then I'll put my foundation over it just to kind of prep that. And I'm taking like a little concealer brush to start blending this down. The concealer that I'm using is the Anastasia Pot Concealer, and this is in the shade 1.0. Yeah, my ears are kind of red. It's because I have my heater on off to the side, and so I didn't put enough foundation on my ears. So just kind of ignore the fact that my ears are red. I can try to fix it really quick if it's bothering people. It's kind of bothering me. I've just been trying to ignore it. We're just gonna roll with that, honestly. Yeah, I know concealer works amazing for this because I was even starting to notice before I put the concealer is that it was starting to kind of bleed down and conceal, especially this one, since it's so full coverage, it's going to cover pretty much everything, any color. Okay. And then just quickly, I'm going to go back into this little lip brush, the number 3 from Anastasia, and I'm going to go back into Ashton just to kind of get a more defined line. Lashes definitely take, like, it took me forever to kind of figure out how to apply lashes, and for a while I wasn't trimming my lashes, and so they just looked insane on me, and so I think it just kind of takes a little while to kind of get the motion down and just kind of figure it out. For me, it took forever to learn how to put on lashes. Okay, so this is the pretty much completed look. I did my eyebrows and lips for you guys. Just to kind of go through the lips really quick, I did Ashton for people that are just kind of joining in. I used Ashton as the base, and then I did Naked, and then I put a little bit of gloss on top just to kind of give it some sheen. And for eyebrows, I just did Dip Brow in Ash Brown, Brow Wiz in Soft Brown, and then I used some brow gel and concealer. There we go. What matte powder is good to use? I feel like for me, I just kind of use like whatever powder I have on hand. Like drugstore powder is really good. There's a lot of good powders out there. So I can just answer some questions really quick before I log off. If you guys have any questions, you guys have my full attention and I'm not like doing stuff while you guys are asking them. Thank you, Elizabeth. For cream contour not blending out good, I would recommend putting an oil in it. Anastasia has a really great oil, so add a couple drops into it. A lot of the times I think when cream contour isn't blending out right, it's going to be because it's too dry, and so if it's too dry, it's not going to want to blend out on your face. So add a little bit of oil in it, and then kind of mix it up and apply it to your face. It blends out super easy. That's usually what I do. Same thing with dip brow. If your dip brow gets dry, add a little oil to it, and it's good as new. Yeah, definitely try it. If you guys try out this look or a look similar to it, just tag me on Instagram. My Instagram is Cybersleep. And I'm noticing my ears are still red. So we're just gonna roll with it, honestly. Full coverage foundation for lighter skin. I like the stick foundation from Anastasia. I think that one's really full coverage. I have a lot of acne scars underneath. Well, I don't have like a lot, but I guess I have like a decent amount of acne scars underneath, and the stick foundation from Anastasia covers up really, really well. And also another tip too is just use the concealer that they have, or just any kind of concealer. Put that down, you know, cover up your problem areas, I suppose, and then put on your foundation, and it covers up really, really well. I do use the stick foundation from Anastasia, and if you guys are wondering, I'm in the shade beige that they have. What's the simplest what for inexperienced? Foundation or something else? Shadows. AB8 shadows are really, really good. I love those. The highlight that I'm using is... What highlight am I wearing? Oh, I'm wearing this one. Tourmaline. So it's kind of like this purpley kind of... Not purple, but I don't know what you would describe this as. So that's what I'm wearing on my cheeks. And then for my brow bone highlight, I'm wearing Summer right here. And these come in the Summer, or the Sun Dipped Glow Kit. I just took them out of their packaging. For foundation, for the stick foundation, I like to apply it using a buffer brush. I feel like it blends out a lot better than with a sponge. Yeah, I feel like it blends out better with a brush than a sponge. I feel like it just kind of covers more. The best foundation for, I just saw your comment, but the best foundation for the inexperienced, I don't know, I mean, like, I feel like foundation, I'd probably say like a liquid foundation, I think, because it blends out really, really easily. As long as you blend it down to your neck, I think you'll be good. But I would say like just any liquid foundation, but I really do love the stick foundation. It's what I've been using nonstop. Like I was saying before, if you guys go to my Instagram, it's like only the Anastasia stick foundation, and I was seeing comments on my YouTube channel saying like you should probably switch up the foundation. Like it's getting kind of repetitive, but that's like my favorite one at the moment. But I think I should probably go ahead and log off though. So thank you guys so much for your questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this little live stream. If you guys want to follow any of my other social media accounts, I will leave that in the comments or in the description. I'll try to edit that after I log off. But my Instagram is Cybersleep, YouTube channel is Ryan Potter Makeup, and that is pretty much it. And just last question. The lashes that I'm wearing are from Lena Lashes in the style Mykonos. And if you guys want to rewind this at all, you can just kind of, after I log off, you guys are able to just scroll through and find a part that you guys want to rewatch. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys on my other social media accounts. Do I even know how to sign off here?